All right, I think we're going, guys. So, welcome everybody to the
There we
first
go.
of two Masters matchup casts that are going to be going on. So, today we've got myself, Corey Reynolds, who's one of your tournament organizers, and we also have two other guests on with us. So, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourself, Mike?
I'm Mike Rossi from the Unplugged radio podcast and also the Northeast Masters rep. And I'm also just good enough to qualify sort of every year. So there you go. Those are my credentials. I got nothing else.
That's what you got.
That's it.
And I'm Adam Ballard, and I officially did not qualify this year, but thankfully there was about 15 drops in the mountain region for me to then qualify.
So however you got to do
buddy.
it.
Got you beat, Rossi. But anyway, I'm the mountain region rep, and been playing. This will be fourth Masters for me here, so I've been to every Kings of War Masters. That's what I got going for me, whether it's by actually earning it or not.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, we will jump right into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the top 16 tables, and then John Vanas will be doing another cast later on this week with the remaining 16 tables from the entire first round of the Masters. So we'll jump right into it here. So as everybody can see, table one, we've got Eric Trowbridge from the Midwest, who is going to be playing Orcs, and he's going against Brian Ring from the Northeast. So I'll take this one. I'll go through the lists, and then we'll talk matchup here. So Eric's got one Great Axe Horde with the Potion of the Caterpillar and Orcish Skull Pole. He's got two other Great Axe Hordes with just an Orcish Skull Pole. He's got three Morax regiments, all with Skull Poles. Looks like 6 Orkling regiments, a War Drum, a Crudger with Gakamak's Bloody Banner and a Skull Pole, a Crusher on a Gore with a Mace of Crushing, and a Crusher on a Gore with a Blade of Slashing. That's a lot of drops.
Love it.
Dude.
And his tax in at unit strength 28 with a ton of nerve and a ton of beef. And so what Brian's bringing to the table is Night Stalkers. And he's got 2 Reaper regiments, a Scarecrow Horde, 2 Scarecrow regiments, a Reaper troop with the Brew of Strength, a Void Lurker with the Maid of Madness, another Void Lurker, 2 Mind Screeches, 2 Phantom Troops, a Horror with the Vicious Aura and Bane Chant 2, and another Horror with the Vicious Aura and Bane Chant 2. And he's checking in at unit strength 21. So he's got a pretty elite list.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I mean,
I try to get my head around the orc list. It has 710 drops, right? it's except for the orklings, everything's sorted. You got to pay attention, right?
Right.
He's got 3 hordes of the Great Axe and 3 regiments of Morax, with the War Drum in the background there and the Crudgers. That's a good list,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In terms of board control and everything else,
Eric did walk away with first place at a recent GT of, I think it was 30 to 36 players, somewhere in there.
Oh, that's legit.
He took this list or something very similar to it, and I think it was in Ohio. Pretty sure it was run by I forget it. I don't know. Anyway, all I remember is he walked away with first place. So in this list, it's definitely a bad matchup for Night Stalkers. I don't think Night Stalkers want to see this.
No, he'll have trouble getting charges off. All the Orkling regiments in the way.
Yeah,
he'll take the first hit. Brian will for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? I mean, I don't know. The downside to having all that beef on the orc side is it's going to be spread out.
Yeah.
Unless he has stuff behind stuff, and he's not going to want that. I mean, yeah, you have a screen of orklings, but he's not going to want regiments behind hordes. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe if Brian can put a lot of force in a single spot.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric's definitely going to want to layer up, right? Because he's got 2 void lurkers that are going to be trying to get flanks and rears the whole game. So
Yep.
he's definitely going to have to play it in layers.
But those void lurkers aren't going to be able to do anything when you got 3 crushers on gores running around the battlefield.
Exactly.
Right?
Trying to ground them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
You-
good.
You're not gonna get a flank or a rear with the void lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how patient, but yeah, you know what I mean. And do we know the scenario for the first round? We don't.
We
for this-
won't.
for
We
this
don't. We
cast?
won't
Yeah.
know until right before round 1. So we'll pick
Okay.
it randomly
Yeah.
and announce it.
Right. I think that the scenario may make a difference. You know what I mean?
Oh, it'll always make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Isn't that the drinking game? Every
That's
time we
exactly
say
what it is. It's-
it depends
so I'm
on the
not-
scenario, depends
So I'm
on the
going to drink
drink.
anyway, but I'm not going to say that anymore. Let's go with that. Right.
All right.
I think Brian's going to have a tough time.
I do too.
It's a lot of beef, man.
Agreed.
It's a ton. I mean, he's got Mind Screeches that could probably pick out the war drum and maybe take it off over the course of the game. But even then, by that point,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Crushers all inspire, right? Or the Crushers all the
The Crudgers inspire, the Crushers do not.
okay. But he's still got multiple sources of inspiring too.
Yeah.
To keep his line in order. I don't know, man.
Er-
That's a
Eric's,
great list.
Eric's weakness with this list is he's not as tough as normal orcs, being defense 4 across his main line.
right?
But I don't think it matters in this particular matchup.
He's got
just-
boatloads of nerve.
Exactly.
Right.
He has
And tons of
the nerve-
chaff. Tons of chaff.
huge amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Mind Screechers are going to have to be shooting Orklings and the War Drum. That's pretty much their only targets, and they're not going to be able to do enough before they get in combat.
True enough.
That's a
True
lot.
enough. So I think I'll make a pick. I mean, I'm going to pick Eric in this one. That's a lot.
I'll second that.
Man, I want to pick Brian because he is tactical and he is patient, but boy, that's a horde of beef, man. I don't know how he's gonna pick that apart. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah, even
You
with
know?
the Reapers, it's just not enough attacks to grind through it all.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
Even if he kills one, he gets hit and the
Right.
regiment's gone.
Yeah.
The Reapers can charge in and even get lucky and kill, a Morax regiment in one go, and they're gonna just eat a double, triple charge right after that.
Right,
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
just
down
more
a heavy
dudes.
hitter.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, so that one's in the books. We'll go on to table 2. Mike, why don't you take this one?
All right. We have Keith Randall and his Kingdoms of Men with Night Stalker allies. All right, let's go down this against David. I lost the screen here. You clock the screen back up. Where'd it go? There we go. Against gone again. We're having some technical difficulties here, mostly because I can't read this. Can't read the thing, so I can't take this because there we go. Against David Pyatt and his Empire of Dust. So the minute I start talking, the screen goes away and I can't see it anymore.
Okay.
Right.
Try to select Corey on the Hangouts, and then it should fix.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it. I'm the worst, which I think is an official drop for me. All right, so starting again. Keith Randall, Kingdoms of Men with Night Stalker allies versus David Pyatt with Empire of Dust. We're going to go through the Kingdoms of Men list first. He's got a polearm block horde. He's got a spear phalanx horde with pikes. He has another spear phalanx horde with pikes. He's got a bowman horde with fire oil and 2 bowman regiments. A general on Pegasus with the Trickster's Wand. 3 cannons, 3 siege artilleries, and he's got 3 wizards. And they're all on Pegasus.
Yep.
They all have lightning bolt 3 to replace their fireball. One's got the boomstick, one has the conjurer's staff, and one has the inspiring talisman. And then for Night Stalker buddies, he has a scarecrow regiment and a mind screech. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Right. The Empire of Dust list is 2 skeletal spearmen hordes, 3 mummy regiments, a revenant cavalry troop with the brew of haste, a skeleton archer cavalry troop with the fire oil, a desert swarm regiment, 2 bone giants, a monolith, an idol of Shobik, a soul snare, and the Ammonite pharaoh with the eternal guard upgrade.
So that's elite for all the mummies.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good list.
Where's the heal?
That's a problem.
Idol of
That's-
Shobek, it's heal 5. And Soul
And Soul
Snare.
Snare,
And the Soul
right?
Snare, right?
5.
Yep. So I mean that's legit because the Soul Snare has a long reach.
And then your mummies all have regeneration.
Yeah.
And Life Leech.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so you compare that to what Keith is running, and it looks like a bunch of dudes with phalanx and everything else just shoots. I say just. Right.
Just shoots, yes.
Yeah, it's just
Only. Yeah.
6 artillery pieces, 3 wizards, a Mind Screech, and some bowmen, hordes and regiments. And so the thing is, boy, I don't know. I'm trying to do some real quick math in my head. Like how many units is David going to lose before he gets into combat? Yeah,
4.
maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So the toughest part. So I guess Kingdoms of Men, the way Keith's playing, it's very similar to how Keith and I have played elves in the past. He just has a lot more artillery pieces. And Empire Dust is also the army that I've been playing a lot of, and somewhat similar to this. Empire Dust doesn't like seeing this because the shambling, movement 5, they're not going to get across the board for 3 turns, maybe
Right.
4.
So slow.
Yeah.
Right. Though to be fair, I don't know who does like seeing this.
Yeah, but there's nobody out there to go get those war machines, right? There's no
right.
threats. No threats.
And David does not have a whole lot of surge. In my mind, he doesn't have near enough surge for an Empire Dust army. But
no, he doesn't. Oh man.
I
mean, he's got a lot of hitting power. He's got a solid center.
And
he has no way to project threat.
He's got a lot of stuff that hits on 4s against ensnaring phalanx hordes.
Oh boy,
this is not
a
good
good
match.
Right? I don't think so either.
Oh, David, sorry, buddy.
And then he gets up there, and those wizards fly off and claim objectives or contest zones. And
yeah, because they all score.
Yes, they do.
So, I mean, to be fair, Keith doesn't really have. He has to get lucky, I feel like, to be able to kill some of these units in a turn.
Sure.
But I think he's able to. He can pop a -18 nerve on a bone giant, no problem.
Right.
He can hit the -18 on the mummies as long as his artillery is able to see those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the key, right? But I mean, anything tall, it's going to take it in the neck.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the idol's going to be a little bit tougher, but even then, I think, like I said, good round of shooting, defense 6, idol's gonna die.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he's good for about on an average round. He's good for about 13 wounds against defense 5. 12 wounds against defense 5. Oh boy, that's oof.
With what? Just the artillery?
Just the artillery.
And then
the
he's
bows
got
and
lightning bolts.
So lightning bolt 15, right? So
yeah.
And some bow shots just for good measure.
Lightning bolt 18 with the boomstick.
Oh, that's right. The boomstick's in there too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then those bowmen, especially the horde with the fire oil.
Those mummies regenerate. How awesome is that?
Yeah, it's gonna pay off.
Jeez.
Sorry, David.
So is it unanimous, guys? I mean, do we have to go around?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean,
buddy.
Especially if you get to a scenario that's movement based where you're contesting pillage tokens or control, something like that, then it's even tougher.
Yeah.
Keith's got a way to get all that.
Well, and it's Keith Randall. He's a pretty damn good player too. So
Overrated.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not really that good. He lost to me. So
hey, wait a minute. I lost to you.
You're right. Right before. Yeah, you lost to me, then he lost to me. So yeah.
True.
I had a good day. That's all I
clearly.
Awesome. All right. So let's go to table 3. All right, Adam, you want to take this one?
Yeah. So I got First Army's Britton Williams. He's playing orcs. He has 2 hordes of long axes, a legion of gore chariots with the potion of the caterpillar, an axe regiment, gore rider regiment with the helm of confidence, skulk troop, 2 war drums, a giant crudger on wing slasher with blade of slashing, crudger mounted on the gore, God Speaker with the Shroud of Saint mounted on a gore, heal 2, Bane Chant 2. A God Speaker Inspiring Talisman on a gore, heal 2, Bane Chant 2. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we got Shannon Shoemaker, Mr. Paragon himself. And he's got Night Stalkers here. So he's got a horde of butchers with Han's Sanguinary Scripture. I believe that's the Life Leech 1 item.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then he's got another horde of butchers with the Brew of Haste. Horde of fiends with Boots of Striding.
Yay, Jesse.
J Boots. Another horde of fiends with the Caterpillar. 2 Needlefang regiments. 2 Mind Screeches. 2 Planar Apparitions. A Shadow Hulk. 2 Dread Fiends. 1 with the Trickster's Wand. The other one with Blade of Slashing. And a Horror with Conjurer's Staff. Weakness 2. Bane Chant 2.
Huh.
There you go. This is an interesting matchup.
It actually is.
It is.
Both lists kind of want to grind, which is
Right.
interesting for Night Stalkers, right? With the 2 planar apparitions.
Yeah.
It's definitely completely different from the first matchup, which was also Orcs versus Night Stalkers.
No joke.
Yeah,
no
right.
joke.
Britain has it looks like a more well-rounded list insofar as he has a lot of different things,
He does.
right? But unit strength 23 versus unit strength 28. He's only got the 2 horrors instead of 3. I don't know. He's got a lot more speed though between the chariots and the gore riders.
Yeah, the chariots hit like a freaking truck, right?
Yeah, they do, man.
Well, Shannon has 2 hordes of fiends
Right.
and 2 dread fiends.
Oh yeah, he's gonna hit hard.
That's true. The Dread
Yeah.
Fiends are going to get out there and get in the way.
Mm.
See, and Britain's playing orcs a little bit more like the orcs that I think of, which is more of the grinding it out.
Mm-hmm.
He has those long axes, and I love the hordes of long axes.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I do
good.
too. Especially with the 2 guys with heal in the background and in the backfield there. I think that's pretty cool. Right.
Yeah, they're
Right.
not going to get moved easily. I mean,
No.
If that buys you another round of combat, then that's another 10 wounds or so.
All right, those fiends are going to bounce off those long axe hordes.
yeah, all day. The only thing that can really pop the long axes in Shannon's army are the butchers.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Shannon has a lot of heal too, as well.
And a weakness in there too.
Yeah,
right.
the weakness is pretty cool. Right.
It's definitely going to help.
Yeah.
Keep those butchers in the game longer for sure.
Interesting.
Right.
Man, I don't know. This is a great matchup.
It is. It really is.
I would want to watch this on the table.
Yep. Shadow Hulk and a giant.
Yeah. I mean, really, they're very similar armies as far as what they want to accomplish.
Absolutely. I think that Britain's got the Crudger on a wing slasher, which is, I don't know.
Yeah.
That might tip it in my point just a little bit. Just a big threat, a big flying threat.
Yeah.
It's good. But I don't think I've ever bet against Shannon Shoemaker.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Right. Just history says.
In that same tournament that Eric won, Shannon finished second with a very similar Night Stalker list.
Of course he did.
Right?
Yeah.
My inclination is to go with Shannon. I think Brenton's going to give him a hell of a time, and I would love to see this game, but I think Shannon is going to be able to take it. I think he's got some tools here, and he's pretty patient. Right?
Yeah.
He's not just going to YOLO across the table and
right.
get taken off. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I can't go against Shannon, even though I think Britain has the tools and possibly a slightly better list in this matchup. I think Shannon's experience is going to edge out in this.
I'm going to be a contrarian and go with Brent here. Again, I do think he's going to give him a hell of a game, and I think he can pull it out. I really do. So we'll split on this one a little bit.
Our
Sounds
first
good.
one.
There you go. Yeah, I think it'll be a great game to watch. So I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll stream this one.
I was gonna say, are we doing the votes like we did last year for?
Yeah, we'll do the votes. I think this is an early favorite.
It's one of mine.
Me like it. I'll be busy getting stuff pushed in.
Right.
First round, but
All right. So I'll take table 4 here.
Ooh.
So we've got Chris Kapsner from the Midwest running Northern Alliance. So he's got 2 Snow Troll hordes, one with the Chalice of Wrath, 2 Frost Fang Cavalry hordes, one with the Brew of Sharpness, one with the Wine of Elven Kind, 4 Tundra Wolf troops to get it out there in your face, a Thang on a Frost Fang with the Pipes of Terror, Lord on Chimera with Dwarven Ale, and then 2 Ice Queens, both with Heal 5, one with Bane Chant 2 and an Inspiring Talisman, and the other with Blizzard, Heal 5. And unit strength 18.
18 unit strength.
Very elite. Very elite.
What are we doing?
And then we've got Dan Wright from the Pacific Northwest. Big Dan. So he's running Undead with 3 Wraith regiments, 2 Soul Reaver infantry regiments, 2 White Hordes, one with a Blade of Slashing, 2 Deathpack regiments, a Gorblight, a Necromancer with Inspiring Talisman and Bane Chant 2, Standard Bearer with the Loot, and then Morgoth. First of many that I think we're going to see.
If there's an undead army that doesn't have it, they're doing it wrong.
I believe you're right.
Secret tech. Wow.
So this is a very familiar army that Chris Kapsner's running. It's his herd army, just in Northern Alliance.
Right.
Sprinkle some snow on the base and call it a day.
Yeah.
I would bet money he's going to be using his herd army.
I think you're probably right.
Yep.
Wow.
Slots in there nicely, doesn't it?
I mean, it transitions over really well from his herd army to Northern Alliance, though. Those Frost Fangs, he's going to use them just like he did the Stampedes.
Right.
Yep.
They kind of do the same thing, right? Just smash you in the face.
Boom.
I mean, he's spending more for these Tundra Wolf troops, but they can potentially win a chaff battle.
Right. They're a little more threatening.
Yeah. But the way Chris uses chaff is top play.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the big tool he has now is a Lord on Chimera. So he's got a big bad flyer to go around. But Undead isn't really the easiest army to catch off guard with a big flyer.
Right.
Yeah, right. I mean, if you don't pop it, you're going to get Sergio Rama, right?
All he's got is Morgoth with Surge, right?
He has Necromancer.
Necromancer has Surge built in. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the funny thing is, I'm looking at the amount of chaff that Chris has, and Chris has, I think, 5 things that he could use as chaff, not counting the Ice Queens as emergency chaff, right?
Right.
Dan has got 2 Deathpack regiments, but he also, depending on how he uses the Wraith regiments, right? Protect a little threat, get in the way, and then be solid enough where the Soul Reaver infantry can maybe go in and cause some issues too. Because the funny thing about Chris's list is there's some a difference in height
and width,
stuff that's
and
tall,
width,
right? And for Dan, it's like small, compact, and everything is short.
And I fly. I mean? I can get around that chaff.
He's got the 2 White Hordes, and that's it. So I don't know, man. I know Chris's top play, but boy, I like Dan's chances when it comes to if Chris doesn't go in and pop whatever it is he's attacking, or if he doesn't pop and then tie up the stuff next to it, he's going to be in trouble, right?
And then there's Morgoth.
And that's the problem, right? It's the Drain Life 9.
Yep. Flying around behind you, just zapping shit.
Being a pain in the rump. Yeah.
Yeah. But Chris has the speed on him.
He does.
Wraiths are only movement 7 now. 7
Same with the whites. Same with the whites. That's the fastest thing in his army. Well, Chris's Frost Fangs are movement 7 with Wild Charge 1. Yep.
Right.
So they got the reach.
They got reach.
And he has the Chimera. But so I think having that, I mean, he can then use his chaff in different ways. He isn't required to use his chaff to get the charges he wants or needs.
That is correct.
True enough.
And that opens up the ability for him to, maybe throw his Chimera out at something like a Wraith Regiment that's not going to really hit hard back individually,
Right.
and then just chaff up things so that they can't charge him back.
Right.
He has the ability to initiate and dictate the battles, which in his hands, I think, is a winning formula.
And
He's going to have to.
Strider all over the place.
Right,
Oh,
Strider matters. And then he's down 6 unit strength, Chris is.
Yep.
Right? So it kind of forces, depending on the scenario, it forces him to engage.
Wow.
Right? He can't just hang out, you know what I mean?
It's
Which I
Northern
think he's going to want
Alliance.
to do anyway.
They're going to do that anyway.
Right?
And I guess another thing to call out, this Blizzard against little weak Necromancers and an army.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Death Pack, the Blizzard doesn't care about your stealthy and your defense too.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's gonna put some pressure on Dan to have to initiate.
Yep. And other than the Soul Reaver infantry, I don't know that he has enough hitting power to take something off in a turn, and he's got a lot of heal. And
the White
snow
Horde with
trolls.
the blade of slashing.
Those whites, I mean, just both White Hordes hitting on 3s now, crush 2,
a bunch of attacks.
They can do it themselves, especially with a Bane Chant backing them up. But at the same time, I'd be surprised if either of those got into one of the 4 main units of Chris.
Right, that's the hard part, right? He's got so much chaff to just keep him away from it.
He's got a lot of schmutz, right?
Yeah. And I mean, the whites and the race being flying, they can normally jump over that chaff, but in this case, since they're Tundra Wolves, I think Chris will find that having a little extra combat to pluck off that one wound that he's probably going to get.
Yep, just to stick him there, right?
It's going to make him stick, so.
Yeah, wouldn't do it if they were snow foxes, but.
That's right.
Tundra full wolves for sure.
Yep.
All right, I think this is another close one. What do you guys think?
Oh, man.
I say unit strength only matters at the end of the game, so I'm going to go with Chris.
You're not wrong. You're not
wrong. I think because of I haven't seen Dan play something like this. I know Chris knows how to play this list, even though it's not the same army. It's the same army with just with different skin on it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Chris on this.
I think I am too.
Oh man.
I think it'll be a good game too. It'll be a close one.
Right? I hate it when we all agree.
I know.
Right? I mean, sometimes you should, but anyway.
that's not a clear one. That's for sure.
Right?
All right, Mike, you want to take table 5, buddy?
Sure. So we got Matt Carmack with his Empire of Dust against Russ Barnes with his Basileans. So I'm going to go through Matt's list. Empire of Dust. He has Revenant Cavalry Regiment, one with Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding, and then another 3 Revenant Cavalry Regiments as well. He has an Enslaved Guardian Horde with the Aegis of the Elohi. He has 2 Revenant Cavalry Troops. He has an Ammonite Pharaoh on a Royal Chariot with the Blade of Slashing, because that's cool. He has another Ammonite Pharaoh on the Royal Chariot. He has Apophis, the Champion of Death, the Idol of Shobek, and a Revenant Champion with the Tome of Darkness and an Undead Horse. Wow. That's just coming at you.
Neat list, right?
Yeah, right?
Well, read Russ's list.
All right.
Yeah, that one's coming at you too.
Right? So we have a Paladin Knight Horde with Makwar's Potion of the Caterpillar, a Paladin Knight Regiment with the Staying Stone, 3 Sisterhood Panther Lancer Regiments, a High Paladin on Dragon with the Brew of Haste, another High Paladin on Dragon with the Meat of Madness, Sama Chris, the Mother of Phoenixes, and 4 Gur Panther troops. Whoa.
This game's going to be over in like 30 minutes.
False. This game is going to go to turn 6 with them caging around the entire time. Right?
It's just going to be a dance.
Oh
God.
No,
so much stuff.
Now that I look at it, it is going to have to be pretty cagey, because here's the problem. Matt has everything. Everything is quick, totally cool, but it all moves 8. And on Russ's side, he's got a bunch of stuff. The Panther Lancers, they move 9.
They're
10,
10.
10,
Yeah,
10,
so I mean,
10 nimble.
right?
10
And
nimble,
between
Thunder
that and the
1.
Paladins, he's got the distance, right? And so therefore, Matt has to be like, oh, I want to be real cagey, and so you can only attack one thing at a time. And if you go in and even if you kill it, I'm going to countercharge and take you off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
And what deals with that Paladin Night Horde? I mean, you got to multi-charge it with like everything to take
I
it
was
off.
going to say the Enslaved Guardians are the best bet, and then +2.
Yeah, +2.
Yeah.
I mean, the Idol can charge it and then just grind, but
Stick
that's
it, right.
that's
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. So Russ Barnes is one of my guys from the mountain region, and
Yeah.
he's been playing this fast Basilian army for a long time, and he's gotten a lot better with it. So, but I know Matt, and I know I would say Matt's definitely more of a veteran player, and would have the edge as far as that goes.
They both have the same number of drops, so it's not like someone can, right? It's not like one of them can load a flank.
Right.
Boy,
Those Paladins on Dragons are tough to deal with, though.
right?
Oh,
And
they
I don't see anything in Matt's list that reaches out and touches him. Unless, I mean, what does Apophis, the Champion of Death, does he have a ranged weapon of some sort? Some kind of spell? I don't know what that dude does.
I don't think so.
Right? Because
He might have drain life.
All right, right. But then he's got Samacris to be like, I heal that.
Right.
Right?
Iron
I just
Resolve.
don't see. Yeah, I don't see anything that's really going to be able to reach out and cause a problem. There's no way for Matt to put pressure. Out of all the armies that Matt wanted to see, it was not this because everything moves 10 instead of 8.
Get up on them. Get right up on them.
Jeez, oh man. Just based on the movement and the fact that, yeah, between and the Iron Resolve and everything else, I actually think that Russ has an advantage.
I think I do too. I think I would
Mm.
pick Russ here, just not knowing the players. Just the list is fast,
Right.
and those Night
But
Horde can stick.
I still think it's going to be a cagey. You know what I mean? It's going to be real. Because Matt's no slouch. He's going to make it so if Russ commits to a spot, he's going to kill something. And he's going to take the counter punch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's still going to make for a real interesting technical game. It's either everything's going to be dead or nothing's going to be dead at the end of the day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think looking at it here, both their armies want to hit something and kill it, and if they have to stick around and if they get in an elongated fight, Matt's just gonna win that though.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, so I think it's all about picking those fights, and
Yeah.
Russ has the speed to do it, but
And
I don't know.
he has the nimble. He has the nimble too, right? So he can turn the table. He can turn the table.
Yeah.
But I mean, those Panther Lancer units, they're not going to hit a Revenant Cav regiment and kill it in a turn.
Oh,
No, they'd be happy to kill a troop.
Right, exactly. Right. So, I mean, just kind of looking at it that way, Russ has just kind of chaff. So, and although the Matt's Revenant Cav regiments aren't necessarily a huge threat, they're more of a threat than the Panther Lancers.
Sure.
Yeah, I see that.
And then his 2 Pharaohs on Chariots are, those tricky guys that are going to see over and get those nimble charges around. And
those bros are legit. That is true.
They're good.
Right. I mean, I think it's the counterpunch there. So are you leaning toward Matt?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah, we split on something.
Like I said, Russ is a good player. He knows his lists. I honestly think this is one of the tougher matchups for Russ, though.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Fair enough. All right. Table 6. Why don't you take that,
Ooh.
Adam? I like this one.
All right. So we have Aaron Chapman and his Abyssal Dwarves against Joey Greek and his Night Stalkers. So Aaron here has 3 Decimator hordes. I was expecting more, but one of them has the Helm of Confidence. And then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Slave Orc hordes. That looks familiar. So,
No
Yeah.
kidding.
and then top it off, we got 3 Heavy Mortars. We have 3 Hexcasters as well. Hexcasters have weakness across the board, and one of them has an Inspiring Talisman. Yeah. And then the Night Stalkers, Joey here has a Reaper Regiment with the J Boots. He has another Reaper Regiment. He has 2 hordes of Butchers. He has 4 regiments of Fiends. He has 2 Mind Screeches, 1 Planar Apparition, a Void Lurker with the Blade of Slashing, a Horror with the Trickster Wand Bane Chant, another Horror with Conjuring Staff Bane Chant.
Wow.
Yeah, this one's a good matchup, right?
It is. I think that Night Stalkers are going to be a little bit tougher for Aaron, though. It affects his army more than most.
Right. The mortars are not nearly as effective.
Definitely not. And his Decimators, the way that I've seen him play most of his games, is shooting over top of the Slave Orcs after getting charged.
And now that they're getting cover and stealthy.
Exactly. So Decimators hitting on 6s, not
Yeah.
as scary.
It's who cares
Correct.
down, right?
Correct.
So I think this is that army is nasty. It's a really good army, but this army Joey has is just not what it wants to see.
Right.
It's true. I mean, I do think I'm looking at the 3 weakness casters, right? Because the key is you take 4 unit types, right? So you take Decimators, you take Slave Orcs, you take Heavy Mortars, and you take Hexcasters, right? And there's your list.
Yep.
But the idea of the weakness removes all the crushing strength essentially off of Joey's list.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and it's a pseudo lightning bolt, don't forget.
yeah, right.
With no penalties.
With no penalties.
Yeah, dude. So I see that as being in the grind. I think a Slave Orc horde stands up to some of this stuff when you take away. I know that Joey's units have 1 billion attacks. I get it, but without the crush, it's hard to kind of push. You know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think Joey's going to be able to. He's definitely not going to be able to single charge, and I have a hard time believing he's going to be able to double charge a Slave Orc horde if those weaknesses are out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But he can. I think Joey can focus in an area easier than Aaron can. Right.
Absolutely.
He can put a lot more attacks in a very small area.
I don't think Joey needs to or really even wants to kill the Slave Orcs on first go though, because
he wants to hang out.
Right. He's fine with a grind. I mean, that planar apparition is going to keep him fairly healthy from whatever little bit of shooting gets through.
Right.
And
those
then
Slave Orcs aren't going to do much fighting back.
he doesn't really have to worry about the heavy mortar, but those are probably the best targets for his Mind Screech with the lightning bolts anyway.
Sure, unless they can get at the Hexcasters, right?
Yeah.
Well, those Hexcasters, you hit them on 6s because of their special rule.
Oh, that's right. They got that.
So
going.
You do not want to target them, or I mean, you could, but they're not the ideal target.
I forgot about that. Jeez.
Right, and then okay, so the heavy mortars, even though they're hitting on 6s, he's got 3 of them. They have 2 attacks apiece. He's going to hit with 1 every turn. He's going to put 5 wounds on something.
Yeah, but that's the thing. All they need is 1 good round where they hit 2.
Yeah.
But
right.
5, like you said, 5 wounds and heal 7. It's pretty much just going to be an even back and forth.
Yeah. So this is not a good matchup for Aaron. But that being said, Do you think you just hand it to Joey?
I don't know. I mean,
There's a lot of beef to pull through, right?
Decimator's got better in combat, so
That's right.
they're going to actually be able to grind as well. And realistically, like Aaron's going to play those Hexcasters the better, top tier. He's not going to let things get into the Hexcasters, and I think that weakness is what's going to win him this game if he's able to win. Because, I mean, it really comes down to if 3 hordes of Decimators and 6 hordes of Slave Orcs just mash in the middle of the battlefield against everything Joey has, and everything Joey has is going to be weakened. Is it enough?
Yeah, it's a lot of defense 5 on that side of the table.
Big question.
Without Crush, what are you going to do, right? Well, I mean, you can't take Crush away from everything.
No,
you got Crush. Everything has Crush, so it's like,
right.
You know what I mean? Something's going to get through. Something's going to hit with Crush 1 or 2.
I'll be surprised if over half of either of their armies are dead by turn 5.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a slap fight.
I don't know. Attrition.
I think you're right.
Right.
It's gonna be tough.
I mean,
then it's a question of maneuver, and there's a lot more beef on Aaron's side of the table.
And that thing that we said we're not going to mention, but scenario
totally matters.
Because unit strength 30 is pretty big. It's pretty substantial.
Yeah,
it is.
I think it's the perfect number for unit strength.
Right. You get something like loot, and Joey gets first turn and hops up and grabs some tokens. Something different happens, right?
Right.
It's like you said, it's hard to kill all that stuff with Slave Orcs.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd like Aaron's chances a little bit better if he had a Bane Champ in here, but yeah, he's going up against mostly defense 4. The Butcher Hordes are going to be the toughest thing for him to go through.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Yeah. I don't know. Can we vote for a draw?
We can vote for a draw.
That's not fair. I'm going to go
Coward's way out. Coward's way out.
I'm going to go with Joey because of the reduced effectiveness of the shooting.
I think I'm going to go with Joey as well. I think more of the scenarios actually play into him having the movement advantage there.
Then I'll go with Aaron Chapman because he's played this list for about 3 years now. So he's probably got a better understanding of how this matchup goes than either 3 of us. So
I'm sure he does. He does.
I always like to put myself in the, like, during a matchup cast, your name comes up and the people are talking about your list and you're like, you don't know what I know. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Happens every year,
schmucks,
right?
Right? You don't know nothing about nothing.
That's not how you play dwarves.
Please. The way I play dwarves is everybody's dead. Like, what happened?
And a confused look at the end, right?
Right? This game's bullshit.
All right, table 7. Here we go. Dan Miner versus Adam Ballard.
Look at this. Who's talking about this one? Adam?
Let's let Adam talk about this one.
Oh, am I reading this off?
You're going to read your own.
At least read your own.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with Dan's list because that comes first. So Dan is playing Night Stalkers. Guess what? That's what, the 5th, maybe 6th Night Stalker army we've seen?
Right.
Yep.
We're on table 7.
I know.
Yeah. Yep. So Dan's Night Stalkers, I like his list a lot. He's got 2 hordes of butchers, 2 regiments of scarecrows, 4 troops of reapers, 2 troops of phantoms, 3 mind screeches, a planar apparition, a void lurker, and a horror with the vicious aura and bane chant. I like the fact that he didn't add a single magic item in the list.
Not a one.
Nah.
It's just easy that way. And then we have my list, which is riddled with magic items because I've been playing 2250 for so I know we upped to 2300, and that was disclosed months ago. I've just been playing 2250 this whole time now.
You stick to your guns, buddy.
Consistency.
So I added some magic items last minute here. So I have elves, might be the only one. And I have a Palace Guard Horde with the Dwarven Ale. I have 2 regiments of Kindred Archers because they're still good for unlocks, and 2 Drakon Hordes, one with the Boots of Striding, J Boots, and the other one with Caterpillar. 2 regiments of Silver Breeze. One of them has the Fire Oil. A troop of Silver Breeze. A Dragon Lord with the Brew of Haste. A Dragon's Breath, the War Machine. A Army Standard Bearer with the Loot. And an Elven Mage mounted a Boomstick Lightning Bolt 5.
Nice.
Okay. Huh. The Dragon's Breath over the Bolt Thrower, huh?
Yes. I have the models, and they are still good even with 12 attacks.
Secret tech, baby.
They're not bad.
That's cool.
They're not bad.
I ran 3 of them last edition. I just don't have the unlocks to put 3 of them in this list. So.
Yeah, right.
It's everything you hate, right? No more unlocks.
That's right.
No, so Silver Breeze, even better. Even with 18-inch range, they're just really good.
I've had pretty good luck with them. So
I know people say that the stealthy is going to help Dan a lot, but you don't need a lot of hits to take out those Reaper troops. They're only a 10-12 nerve. Couple hits from archers, couple lightning bolts there. You waver a troop or 2, maybe like you take a couple off. You don't need a lot.
Maybe.
You don't need a lot.
So Dan has 16 drops, it looks like, if I counted that right. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 16 drops to your 12, Adam.
Yep.
So he's gonna have a little bit of an advantage. I mean, he's got a lot of junk drops, right, to kind of put the force where he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you got some speed on him though.
Sure.
Right. Kindred Archer Regiments notwithstanding.
And you can take almost everything off except for the Butcher Hordes in one turn, right?
Wow, that's what I have Drakon Riders for.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right?
Yeah, I've play tested against similar lists. This is, like I said, I like Dan's list because it's very similar to what I would play if I were playing Night Stalkers.
Yeah.
So like you said, my shooting's going to be mildly reduced, but elves don't really shoot anymore. Those Silver Breeze Cav are great shooters, but really
the combat too.
The thing that they've come through on is just charging down a hill, getting a Bane chance supporting, and they found a flank with that nimble speed 10. That's 28 attacks at -2. Yeah.
Coming at you.
Yeah, so they're just a really good versatile unit. I've always played my Gold Breeze, so they're just a little bit different play style now, and I like it.
Yeah, I dig it.
Interesting. Now he does have. I mean, just to put this in perspective, though, the Mind Screeches. I always think Lightning Bolt.
Yep.
But they have Wind Blast 6 for like pushing you around and kind of being a jerk, So you may get within range, and then now you're outside of range, with the 18 inches. I don't know if it matters.
No, it doesn't. I mean, they're speed 10 and nimble, and they have
games.
So they hit on 4s. So
they hit on 4s, so it don't matter. All right.
I mean, I think Adam definitely has the range both with the shooting and with his fast flyers. I think he'll be able to pick stuff off in Dan's army. Focus fire, pick a few small units off, and then he'll be able to shoot a gap through there.
Especially if you get to go first, because the leadership, he won't. You wanted the rerolls.
No inspiring,
because of the Night Stalker rules. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
Boy, am I actually going to go with elves? I thought elves stunk.
They do.
With elves in my selection, this is crazy.
No rightful general will actually play elves. They're just. I mean, Keith Randall playing Kingdoms of
brag.
Yeah, right.
Tells you all you got to know, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give this one to Adam. Sorry, Dan, but Adam's got the tools here to make your life tough.
A little bit. Once again, though, I don't know anything. All right, what's the next one?
All right. Table 8, I'll take this one. So, Jeremy Duvall against Chris Murphy. This is going to be the sportsmanship special of the day.
Oh, my God. Pair of gentlemen. Oof.
No, you, sir. No, you, sir. That's how round one's going to go.
Oh my God.
All right. So Jeremy is playing his Basileans, and which look great, by the way. All the pictures he's been putting online.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yes, they're amazing. So he's got a Paladin Knight Regiment with the Brew of Sharpness and the Aegis Fragment. He's got another Paladin Knight Regiment with Potion of the Caterpillar and the Aegis Fragment. We've got 2 Ogre Palace Guard Hordes, one with the Chalice of Wrath, one with Dwarven Ale. 2 Foot Guard Troops with Aegis Fragments, and a Low-High Horde with Brew of Strength. 2 Gur Panther Troops, Nias Solistus with Heal 4 on him. Samarakris, and then a War Wizard with the Boomstick and Lightning Bolt 4 and Bane Chant 2, and then a War Wizard with the Conjurer's Staff, Lightning Bolt 4 and Bane Chant 2. And then Chris Murphy, he's got a Revenant Horde going with the Brew of Strength and Undead Giant Rats, 2 Wraith Regiments, and 6 Zombie Regiments, 2 White Hordes, one with the Striding Boots and one with Potion of the Caterpillar, a Revenant King on the Undead Great Flying Worm, and because it's undead, it has Morgoth, and a Lich King with the Boots of Levitation and Drain Life, so Morgoth Light.
Wow.
For 10 points less than Morgoth the Greater.
Morgoth, right?
Yes.
Jeez. And 29 unit strength to 21.
Yes.
Right, so he dunks
Just a
500 points into
ton of
characters.
drops.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I mean, it's all in zombie regiments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still got to go get them. Like I'm looking at Jeremy's list, and he's got a solid center, and he's got some Gur Panther bros, and then he's got what?
Yeah. What goes into that Revenant Horde and grinds them out?
He's got a double charge.
He's got
a
triple charge. Yeah.
Through the zombies somehow.
The world is not ready. Last year, I warned everybody about our secret sports tech, and that was Kevin Spear. The world is not ready for Chris Murphy. You don't even know. Right? I'm just letting everybody know. Putting everybody on notice. Chris Murphy is also the second. It's him and Kevin for like the friendly off.
Hey, we got a deep sports bench, right?
Oh, you don't even know. Right. But in terms of the actual game, there is something to be said. There's something to be said for Drain Life 16.
Oh, that goes wherever the hell it wants.
Right?
Yeah.
So if Jeremy doesn't go in and crush and destroy something, whoop, hey, I'm all healed up. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So besides the Revenant Horde, what doesn't Jeremy kill in one round of combat?
Oh, the White Hordes.
Noted.
I mean,
depending on what he gets it with, right?
Jeremy's not just going to go single charging 5 different things with his 5 hammers here.
Yeah, but he might not have the opportunity because remember the Ogre Palace Guard moves 6.
Yeah, they do. But I mean,
so he's got to sacrifice something in order to get in. And he's a great player. He'll do it. I'm not worried about that, right? He knows what he's doing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I think Jeremy's Lightning Bolt here just doesn't have very many good targets. Like, what is he going to do? Kill a zombie regiment over 2 or 3 rounds of lightning bolts?
He probably will.
You don't want to shoot Morgoth. You don't want to shoot the Lich King, really.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And anything else you shoot is just going to heal it back with Life Leech or the Drain Life.
Yeah. I mean, Life Leech does have a short range, but this is making it so when the grind begins, it's a fait accompli.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. Jeremy has a chance, but he's got to play cagey. And then with 6 regiments of bros to just sit on stuff and play any scenario that's in the book, I mean, an 8-point unit strength disadvantage puts Jeremy on the back foot to start.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if Chris can really sacrifice those zombies for objective-based gaming, though. Those are his chaff. That's how he opens the door to getting his charges off against Jeremy.
Yeah, a little bit. That's true.
if he keeps them in the backfield, or if they're carrying tokens or going after objectives, Jeremy has 5 hammers that I count here, and 3 of them are faster than all of Chris's army outside of his king on Worm.
That's true. Jeez.
It's not looking pretty if Chris doesn't use these zombies the way he should.
Yeah, but that king on Worm can keep one of Jeremy's hordes back, right? And just hold it up
until
long
it can't.
enough, right?
Until it can't. He's hanging out till he's gone.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, he's got Morgoth and Morgoth to
keep him in the
fly
fight,
around.
right?
Yeah.
That might be the game plan for Chris here, just the triple character, like the flying tank that can never
everybody
die.
else just claps.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Just ram it right down your throat.
Nothing else needs inspiring. It's fine.
We're good. Yeah, I want to give it to Chris, but Jeremy's list is really good. The more I look at it, the more I like it.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is gonna play factor. Like Jeremy has a lot of heal with his Iron Resolve, Aegis Fragments.
Also true.
Like it's gonna be tough. I mean, those white hordes, they hit hard, but even a white horde against a knight regiment, just one-on-one, I don't think it, like, statistically, it's less than a 50% chance to kill it in one turn.
Whew. I'm going to go with Jeremy because I'm not a homer.
You're not a homer.
I'm rooting for you, Chris. Go get him, but
Voting against him actually, inspires him.
My vote, right? Yeah, exactly.
I got to go with Jeremy in this one as well.
Yeah, I think I got to tip it towards Jeremy just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Prove me wrong, Chris. Give him the business.
He probably will.
Once again, what do I know?
All right, Mike, you want to take this one, buddy?
All right, dude. So we have Rashad with Undead against Tom Annis with the Order of the Brother Mark. All right, let's go through these lists. Rashad has a Revenant Cavalry Horde with the Brew of Strength. Oh my God!
Yes.
Coming at you, right? A Wraith Regiment, a Soul Reaver Infantry Regiment with Blessing of the Gods. Love that elite. Soul Reaver Infantry Regiment with Makwar's Potion of the Caterpillar. 2 Skeleton Warrior troops, 2 Revenant Cavalry troops, 2 White Hordes, a Necromancer with the Inspiring Talisman on an Undead Horse with Weakness, 2, an Undead Army Standard Bearer with a Lute of Insatiable Darkness, because every BSB plays the guitar. And he also has Morgoth, because every Undead player
Because it's undead. Then why shouldn't
That's what it is. There it is. Comes right off the rack.
It just comes with the army. You just take 230 points less.
Right.
That's what you do. Done. Tom, Order of the Bredamak. He's got a Paladin Foot Guard with Healing Brew, Paladin Defenders upgrade. Ooh. Paladin Foot Guard Regiment with the Aegis Fragment, Paladin Foot Guard Regiment with the Aegis Fragment. The Order of the Abyssal Hunt Regiment with Sir Jesse's Boots and the Aegis Fragment. An Order of the Abyssal Hunt Regiment with the Brew of Strength and the Aegis Fragment. I like that. Ogre Palace Guard Horde with the Chalice of Wrath, Ogre Palace Guard Horde with the Dwarven Ale, 2 Villain Skirmisher Troops, an Exemplar Hunter with a Gauntlet and a Horse. I don't know what the Gauntlet does. You'll have to tell me. He's got one.
It gives him duelist for those guys.
Oh, smacking dudes in the face. Yeah, he's got, wow. Okay, let me reset this. He has 3 Hunters. All 3 of them have gauntlets. They're all on horses, and one guy is the Inspiring Talisman. He's got a priest with the Conjurer's Staff and Baneshant 2, and another priest with Baneshant 2.
Nice.
So, wow. So he's, wow. So, wow, that's a cool list.
Yeah, it is. And those priests.
Right, this is sinking in how cool that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like Tom's list a lot.
Boy, that is snazzy.
Suddenly that weakness is a lot less good when you've got cleanse on those priests, right?
Yeah, because you don't care.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeesh.
I didn't even realize that. It's a good call.
Paladin Foot Guard. Okay, so he's got 3 Foot Guard units. He's got a bunch of. He's got Ogre the Guard, the Ogre Palace Guard horse that moves 6. And then he's got a couple of the Order of the Abyssal Hunts move even faster. So he's got like a lot of different heights and a lot of different ranges, so he can layer up smart. He's got these characters flying, just running around, punching dudes in the face like jerks, smacking them with their glove. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a cool list. Now
Yeah.
Rashad, wow, I like Rashad's list though. I'm a fan of what I'm looking at. Right, the 2 Soul Reaver infantry regiments and the 2 White Hordes and Morgoth and a bunch of other stuff around, and the Revenant Cavalry Horde with the Brewer's Strength. I like that more than Macwar's.
Yeah.
Which sounds stupid. I just like it better
No.
in the grind.
It's better. It's better on the.
But once you're engaged, you don't care about Pathfinder, right?
Nah, you don't care at all. Hitting you on 4s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So Rashad, I think Rashad has the tools because of those Soul Reaver infantry regiments. Is a foot guard regiment is probably going to die in one turn, just one-on-one.
Oh, it'll be eaten up.
The Abyssal Hunts, they're the same defensively. They're going to die in one turn. The Ogre Palace Guard could die in one turn.
Sure.
Crazy, right?
Or get wavered, at least.
Right. So, I mean, he has. So Tom essentially has 2 troops of chaff with the Valiant Skirmishers.
Yeah.
And then if he wants to use his exemplar hunts as chaff as well, they're not.
Are they mighty?
He's gonna.
Yeah,
they're not. Are they mighty? Okay.
They are mighty, but at the same time, he could just charge and do a wound, and
Sure.
he can't go around.
Yeah, right. It's being a jerk.
I mean, Tom has the answer to Morgoth with duelist individuals horses, but
Yeah.
Tom has to worry about getting just his front door pushed in.
Yeah, he needs those guys for chaff for sure.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, but if Tom gets the charge with the Bane chance and hitting on 3s with Elite with the foot guard, the hunts, they hit hard on the charge too. Ogre Palace Guard are great. Like this is the opposite of grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's hit and remove, turn, hit, remove, turn, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
It'll be hard to get combo charges in that Revenant Cav Horde. That's the problem, right? 2 Skeleton Warrior troops and 2 Revenant Cav troops.
Yeah, I mean the skeleton warrior troops, they die to the skirmishers, they die to a single exemplar hunt charging them.
Sure.
The cavalry troops, those can stick around and be a little bit more tricky, but yeah.
Boy.
There's no shooting outside of Morgoth's Drain Life in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Weird, right? Yeah.
It's going to come down to just who gets the better matchups and who gets to charge off first.
So Tom has more drops, so he could just put a bunch of those exemplar hunters down as
that's what they're going to do, right?
Just you know what I mean.
Priests and exemplar hunters up front,
and the paladin for. I mean, he puts all that down because that just goes where it goes to play the scenario, and then he puts the stuff that matters down last.
Right.
So he'll be able to kind of see what Rashad is doing first.
Yeah. He'll definitely dictate deployment.
Interesting. That's going to be a good game.
Yep.
Only so far, that's gonna be like a game that plays. If you want to see a cool movie battle scene, that's what this game's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Rashad's list just doesn't have like an objective controller from what I'm looking at. If he has to pick up a loot token, like his skeleton troops are good and maybe his Revenant Cav troop, but he doesn't want any of his hammers to have it.
Right.
No.
Right.
Nope.
And if those little pieces of chaff pick it up, well, those exemplar hunters are just going to run them down and have easy pickings.
Yeah.
So if it's a token based scenario, I think Tom has that one.
Right, because he's got stuff he can just hide with it.
He just has dudes. I mean, blocks of infantry matter for scenario play.
Yeah. Right.
And it's not like you put your Soul Reaver infantry regiment on a token.
Yeah, no joke.
We're busy.
No joke.
Things to do.
Yeah.
So I think I would give Tom the advantage in this game.
Boy. I mean, we started by saying if Tom doesn't remove something, he's going to be hurting, right? So I don't know, but I do like Tom's list insofar as you do have a lot of heights and a lot of different speeds, and you can really layer up what you're doing. He has more drops. I'm gonna go with Tom. I think Tom's list gives him a little more tactical play. I think Rashad's list gives him a big giant fist that pushes straight up the middle, right?
Yeah.
But
I like the imagery there. That's awesome.
hey, I'm actually I made it G-rated.
Yeah, I think the hero matchup is what swings it for me. I think Tom wins this hero matchup, even though Rashad has Morgoth. Just Tom has the answers.
Right.
Counters every single one of his heroes.
Seems to be.
All right. Another clean sweep there.
Oof.
So, table 10. You want to take that one, Adam?
Yeah, so we got one of my guys, Billy Henninger. He's playing Undead against Austin Kerrigan and his Salamanders. Good to see some of those. So,
Yes.
all right, Billy's Undead list has two
Morgoth.
Yes, it does.
Just start there and go from there.
Yeah. Billy's playing 2170, or I'm sorry, 2070 points because Morgoth. So he has 2 hordes of zombie trolls. One of them has the +1 life leech item. He has 2 regiments of zombies. He has 2 troops of wraiths. He has a horde of wights with the wine of elven kind. He has a vampire lord on undead dragon with the brew of haste. He has a revenant king on flying worm with the brew of sharpness. He has a goreblight. He has a death pack regiment, Morgoth the faceless, and a necromancer with the inspiring talisman, the vicious aura for zombies, drain life 5, and weakness 2. And Austin's salamanders, he has 2 hordes of ceremonial guard. He has 2 hordes of tyrants, one with the brew of sharpness, the other with blessing of the gods. He has a lancer regiment with the striding boots. He has an ancient regiment. He has a Lachilodon, a battle captain on Rhinosaur, a clan lord on Fire Drake. He has a herald with the loot. He has a mage priest with Shroud of the Saint, heal 3, and the battle captain with Pathfinder aura for large infantry. Or not large infantry, heavy infantry.
Heavy infantry, right.
Yeah.
I really like ancients, but the vampire lord and a dragon and the revenant king give no shits.
Right?
Yeah. Well, ancient. He has what? Just one ancient
Just
regiment.
one ancient regiment, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but those ceremonial guard, on the other hand, they love big flying monsters.
Yeah, they don't care.
That's true. Those are the phalanx ones, right?
Yes. Yep. There's Salamander Spearmen.
Yeah.
That hurts because he's got wraiths. He's got wights.
Wraiths, wights, both the big bad flyers. They're not gonna have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But those zombie trolls are a good matchup.
You're right. Now that they got vicious, sure.
Yeah.
And you can Bane Chant them as well. Give them crushing 3 against that defense 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, those big flyers, he's got a good chance of getting flanks.
Sure. There's not enough out there.
Tyrant hordes they have 30 attacks?
They hit on 4s.
Hitting on 4s, yeah.
Brew of sharpness and the blessing of the gods?
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s and rerolling their 1s.
Yeah, but they're defense 4 now. They're not defense 5, so.
Right.
Nah, Dashner, but still 17.
But they got wild charge D3, yes sir.
Right, yeah. So they can outcharge a lot of stuff there.
Their base movement, what, 6?
6, right? So you're talking
minimum 13.
13 to 16. Right. 13 to 15.
Right. So he has to still respect the the race and the whites in that situation. But
maybe.
Wraith troops ain't so scary, right?
Nah, who cares, right?
Not terribly scary, but at the same time, they threaten for surging purposes. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
really,
boy, this is
those wraith troops are essentially just chaff in this army.
Yeah,
yeah,
for
totally
sure.
is.
So
And
light
that-
on the unit strength.
Well, that's what happens when you take a Vampire Lord, an Undead Dragon, and a Revenant King on Undead Worm, and also Morgoth, because you have to.
Well, you're compelled to take Morgoth. He comes with a list. He comes with a
There it
list.
is. Right?
Unit strength only matters at the end of the game.
At the end of the game, when I kill all your stuff. Right?
Oh god. Yeah, but this White Horde with Wine of Elvenkind is just dirty. You can
Now that you're
Yeah.
Nimble Fly 7. Yeah.
Oh,
Nimble
that's
Fly
savage.
7.
Surge
yeah,
that.
Yeah, surging. You got to respect it.
It's mean.
It is. I like that Austin took a Fire Drake, but for the Clan Lord on Fire Drake, but I really would like to see a magic item on him. Like I know he has it on the Tyrants, but
Right.
the
Elite.
Brute Sharpness or the Blessing of the Gods or even Vicious, like it carries over to its breath 15.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be so potent on
Oh,
that.
that
Right.
would matter.
You get more
Yeah.
bang for your buck out of that on him.
Or at least, Boots of Levitation would be really clutch too.
Oh yeah, fly in 20, breathe on something.
What does the Path of Fire do on the Battle Captain?
Gives Pathfinder to all its aura Pathfinder for large infantry.
Ooh.
Yeah, so his Ceremonial Guard
For the
and his
Tyrants.
Ancients will have it.
Yeah.
The
And
Tyrants won't get it.
Oh, that's right, because
Right.
they're monstrous infantry.
Yeah, but that could be clutch if there are a lot of hindering terrain on the board for him.
Right.
Yeah,
Boy,
it'll
this is
be good.
a tough one. This is a tough one for me.
I'm gonna go with Austin. I like his list.
Me too.
It's just a neat list.
Right? I mean, it's hard to go against Morgoth and two big flying Gribblies,
Right.
right? And a horde of whites. I mean, I get it. Like the list is good, but boy, Austin's list is cool. Like, I would want to play that because I think I'd be better at the game learning how to use that army. Seriously, there's all kinds of different stuff in there, man. It's cool.
I think one thing that's still sneaking in there, that Gore Light with that Aura of Death.
Yeah. Right on the zombie trolls.
Austin doesn't want that anywhere near his entire army.
just sitting there in the middle of everything, plucking wounds off.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I've played against Billy's lists. I've seen him play it. He's got a solid army, and he's played it really well. So I think
Go with Billy.
I think this matchup, he's got it.
I like the split. This is good. Cool.
All right, table 11. I'll take this one.
Yeah.
So we've got Brian Brodeur with Ogres. Unit strength 27. A lot of
Yeah.
Ogres. So we
Not
got
He's
Not
playing
enough.
Ogre. Should be
not
30.
enough. So we got a Boomer Horde, 2 Warrior Hordes, a Siegebreaker Horde with a Chalice of Wrath, Siegebreaker Horde with a Dwarven Ale, a Warrior Chariot Regiment with Caterpillar,
Oh.
2 Berserker Brave. I bet those are troops, not regiments.
They're regiments.
No, are they regiments? Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're- You
Large,
can't get
It's
troops.
large,
right?
large infantry regiments. Thanks.
Yeah.
So they don't unlock crap, but there you go. A sergeant on a chariot, a boomer sergeant with inspiring, an army standard with the loot, another army
Wow.
standard, a berserker bully, and a red goblin scout troop. And Tim Smith playing Dirty Goblins. So he's got a rabble horde with a mop up, 4 troll hordes, 2 rabble regiments, 2 mob beast pack troops, 2 wingets, both with the goblin spotter, 3 big rock throwers, 3 mob pump launchers, a king with Jareth's pendant to give that awesome headstrong to those trolls, bang it with inspiring, and 2 other bang it's, and then a flag it with a trickster's wand. So there you go.
All right.
Huh. It's like a green version of the Kingdoms of Men list,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
right?
Except
6.
for this has a punch
Right, with troll hordes
with
sitting
troll
back there.
hordes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say it. I have no faith in Brian, so Tim Smith's going to
No pain. I kick right in the nuts.
Love Brian, but we brought him for his painting and his sports scores. So
There you go.
Noted.
Brian's just gonna have to run right at him and hope whatever gets there good.
yeah, this isn't what ogres really want to see.
No,
Nah.
definitely not. Low nerve,
No.
all the shooting in the world. Right.
Because you get to run over there and fight a bunch of rabble first while you're getting shot.
And
Oh,
as
this is
the
awful.
bandits throw grenades into your flank.
Right?
Right.
Boo.
Yeah, you don't want to charge the rabble, but you have to charge the rabble, and then when you charge the rabble, you get countercharged by 4 hordes of trolls.
Yep.
All right.
That's a
Brian,
rough
I'll see
one.
you round 2, buddy. Give it to
Plan
Tim.
on it. Plan on it.
Right? There it is. Give it to Tim.
All right, I think we're going a short one on this one.
Ugh.
It's a bad matchup.
Yeah. Whoa,
Nope.
we blew by one.
Did we?
we?
No, there we go. Okay, that was table 11. There we go.
That's
Table 12.
Table 12. You want me to get
All
this?
right, Mike, why don't you take it?
We have Kara Brown with the Trident Realms of Neritica. Trident Realm. And Greg Person with his Forces of Nature. With an ally, Forces of the Abyss. And Kara has allies with Salamanders. Ally versus ally. This is cool. All right, so Kara's list has a unit strength of 29. She starts with a Naiad Ensnarer Horde. She has 2 Giga Hordes, one with a Pipes of Terror and one with the Staying Stone. Very cool. She has a Thule Regiment with the Brew of Strength. She has 2 Depth Horror Hordes, one with Makwar's Potion, the others with the J Boots. 3 Tidal Swarm Regiments, a Knucker, a Naiad Envoy with the Loot, the Bastion 2 spell, a Siren with the Inspiring Talisman, Drain Life 6 at Weakness 2. And then for Salamander, Salamander allies, she has a Rhinosaur Cavalry Horde and a Kaizenor Lancer Regiment. And no Inspiring?
Just a little punch.
Nope.
All right, then. Greg, Forces of Nature. He starts with a Centaur Brave Strider Regiment with a Frenzied Otter. He showed me the mini he painted for that. It is genius. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
It is ridiculous. Because of course he painted a mini for the upgrade. He has an Earth Elemental Horde. He has a Salamander Prime Regiment. He has 2 Forest Shambler Regiments. He has 2 Hunter of the Wild troops, a Greater Earth Elemental, a Tree Herder with Hand Sanguinary Squipsha. Right?
Squipsha.
I'm the worst.
Squipsha.
A Naiad Worm Rider Centurion with the Chalice of Wrath. A Druid with Shroud of the Saint and Surge 4. And then for his allies, he has a Moloch Horde with a Despoiler Champion, an Abyssal Fiend, and a Seductress.
Nice.
That's some good allies.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
I like that
Oh my
idea
God.
of allying with the Abyssal Fiend. Like
provides the inspiring.
It inspires, and it's a pretty good monster for 175 points.
It's amazingly good for 175. Anyway.
Right.
All right. So let's take a look at this, right?
A little insight here. Kara sent in a list that included allies of Varnger, which was we discussed was actually illegal. You can't take an allies of a subsidized list or subsidy list.
List,
so
right.
She had to last minute make the change and basically find the models that she was using as an alternative. So she took these the models that she has. That's why she took this. So it wasn't her first pick, but it was a last minute change that needed to be made.
Sure.
So.
29 unit strength on Kara's side of the table. The Naiad Ensnarer Horde is hard to shift.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see any. I don't see
especially for Forces of Nature, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's on
Everything's
3s.
hitting on 4s, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Other than the Tree
Yeah,
Herder, right?
Yeah.
But Tree Herder's not going to take out a horde.
No, sir, it's not.
Not with the regen and everything else, right?
Nope.
I love Gigas.
Yeah.
I know they're kind of They don't move very fast, but boy, they're pretty good.
Yeah, but
Right,
yeah,
for the
they're
points.
perfect for taking out those Earth Elemental hordes. That's the problem, right?
Absolutely right. They when they hit you, they kill you.
They are can openers.
Right. And then she has the title swarm regiments to kind of get in the way and to dictate matchups and kind of control the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then the siren to pull, which doesn't sound like a lot, but depending on where you put it, you're just pulling stuff out of charge arcs and kind of being a jerk. I like that list. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Yep. In all fairness, though, if Greg can do something with the Giga Hordes, there's not much that can deal with the Earth Elemental and the Greater Earth Elemental and the Tree Herder.
Right.
No. They're going to go into stuff and they're going to make a mess.
Just sit there for the day.
Yeah. It's kind of mind their own business, But that's good. And then the Worm Rider Centurion is actually I like his mini that he
For
painted
sure.
for it, but I also think
He's also good in the game.
You put it. He's
Yeah.
good in the game, right?
He's nimble, gets
is-
around, hard to kill.
Yeah, that's the key, right? Kind of get him around, kind of be a stuff. And I think his allies are better than Kara's.
Oh,
I mean,
for
I understand
sure.
what Kara's trying
agree.
to do, but Seductress is such a jerk.
Yeah, she's just gonna run around and be a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah, right. Just walks up to that siren and goes, "Stop it!"
Yep,
and just stops it from casting stuff.
I'll be honest, I haven't actually pulled up the Seductress. What does she do?
She flies.
Ensnare, stealthy, fly. Hits on threes.
Just a little nuisance combat character.
Yep.
Yeah, but
And she's super cheap.
and relatively cheap for what you get. The fact that she flies is really the key.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It
Just projects
inspires
all kinds of
herself.
threat.
She inspires herself.
She loves her some her. Right. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's a lot of unit strength, and it's going to be hard to deal with. Just kind of grinding that down. Once again, I think a lot of stuff in Greg's list hits on 4s, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a lot
But
of
also-
ensnare over there.
Yeah, but it also hits. I mean, there's a decent number of dice that he throws, and some really good defense where he puts it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not everywhere, but there are certain spots where it's gonna be like defense 6, deal with this.
Right, yeah. Greg can lock some stuff in and then try and get flanks to avoid the
Right.
ensnare for some of the other stuff, right?
Yeah, and the tree herder has the life.
Oh,
Greatness
he's
of life,
he's
which I
great with
totally
that.
rate.
He is great
I-
with that.
I love it.
I think one of the toughest things, though, is that Greg, he doesn't really have a reliable way of taking out these title swarm regiments unless he commits one of his big blocks to it.
Oh, you get the hunters or the seductress could just go do it.
Oh, yeah, I guess the hunters, they can shoot it.
Well, they're not going to shoot. Hunters are the
Oh, those are the
Hunters
foot
are the
troops,
wild
right?
ones.
Yeah,
those
those
are the
are.
foot troops with like a boatload of attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right? So they're the large, they're large infantry, and then
Yeah, they have like 15
Ryan.
attacks.
Yeah, right. So I mean,
Yeah.
he'll run into a title swarm regiment, and the nice thing is he'll probably do just enough wounds to not break them and just kind of stand there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then kind of draw. That may open up other opportunities for him with his heavy hitters.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have an understanding of how this game's going to go. There's a lot going on here.
It will be a wild game.
Yeah.
And the allies
According to
definitely
Puck.
change it up, right?
Right.
I like Greg's allies.
Yeah. Those
I'm going to be a
Mohawks
homer.
are decently
I'm going to be a
okay.
homer. I'm going to go with Greg. He's my buddy and my podcast buddy.
Your
and
podcast
Northeast
partner.
buddy, and right. I mean, he's, and he has a frenzied otter. No one can deal with a frenzied otter,
Because they're
right?
also pretty good.
It's
Yeah, I think I'm going to go
Look
with
all
Greg
cute.
here too. I think he could pull something out.
think I'm going to split us up here, guys. The
yes.
Good.
ensnare is going to be tough, and I think that Knucker is gonna have a big factor in this game here.
I think it could. I don't want to give up. I don't want to. Anyway, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Good call.
All right, sweet. Moving on to table 13. Adam, you go.
All right. Well, we have Mr. Master himself, Brad McKay, who's playing the flavor of the year, Night Stalkers.
Amen.
And he's he's going up against Dan Kamak and his Abyssal Dwarves. So first thing that jumps out at me is, my God, there's no unit strength on this board.
At all.
Unit strength 17 for Brad's Night Stalkers and unit strength 18 for Dan. So Brad has 3 hordes of fiends, one with the boots, J boots, one with the brew of strength, the other with the potion of the caterpillar, 2 phantom troops, the planar apparition with Bastion 2, 2 more planar apparitions, naked, Void Lurker with Meat of Madness, a Void Lurker with Aegis Elohi, and a Void Lurker with Brew of Haste. This looks familiar. He's taken something like this before.
Correct.
And then we got Dan over here with his Abyssal Dwarves. I wonder what he's got. He's got a Decimator Horde with Blessing of the Gods, because why not?
It should.
Immortal Guard Regiment, another Immortal Guard Regiment. Lesser Obsidian Golem Horde with Healing Brew. Another Golem Horde with the St. Hans Sanctuary Scripture. Greater Obsidian Golem, 2 of them, in fact. Then he has 2 Heavy Mortars, an Overmaster with Wings of the Honey Maze, 2 Hexcasters, naked, and with Hex, not with weakness. Then he has an Ironcaster with Shroud of the Saint, Surge 8, and no Fireball, and another Ironcaster with the Conjurer's Staff and Surge 8 as well.
I should make a correction here. I do think he has weakness on there. I think I just forgot to put that in the list. Yes.
Okay, I think that actually, that makes a big difference.
It makes a lot of sense in this list too, right?
Totally does.
Definitely with those
with all the Obsidian Golems. Yeah, absolutely.
That's big.
I love Immortal Guard regiments.
Yeah, I like how Dan's going against the grain here and not going all in on the War Machines. What he's done here is really good stuff, actually.
Right.
I think seeing his first matchup here, he's probably really like fist pumping, like, yes, didn't take the 3rd heavy mortar.
Right. Worth it. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Well, I like what Dan's got going on here actually in this matchup.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
A lot of defense. The weakness is going to play. It really is. The Overmaster on wings can actually do some stuff here too. Get out there and get in the way. And then he's got multiple surge to kind of keep those golems doing stuff.
Yeah.
Heal up those Immortal Guard regiments too. I like what he's got.
I like Dan's list too.
It's a cool list.
I'll be honest, the Fiends from what I've seen and what I've played with them and played against them, the Fiends just don't do enough, in my opinion, for their points.
And not against Defense 6.
Definitely not against pretty much anything Dan has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if the Fiends charge the Immortal Guard, go for it.
Yep. For real.
Man.
I mean, Brad definitely has the speed. Yeah, there's nothing that's going to hold him back besides an Overmaster with the wings, which is pretty big because I don't even know if a Fiend regiment can or Fiend Horde can reliably take him out over 2 or 3 turns.
I don't think so.
Okay, so Brad has 3 planar apparition. Jeez, with the words today. He has 3 planar apparitions.
Mm-hmm.
They come off the rack with heal 7.
Yes.
Yep.
So he's got heal 21 on the table.
He does.
Right. So Dan doesn't have enough punch to take a unit, hit it, and remove it.
Yeah.
Until the grind starts, unless he gets some surge shenanigans to the side and whatnot. But heal 21.
Yeah, but Dan's army, everything's wounding on 2s for the most part, except the Immortal Guard. Right. So it's wounding on 2s with Vicious, so it's doing damage.
Right.
Yeah. And Dan's army is built to, well, you charge me first, I'll take the hit, and then let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, that was cute. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then once Brad starts losing stuff, then what's the planar apparitions healing?
Right. Like the Void Lurkers are going to be kind of tough to lock down outside of one of them, maybe with the Overmaster.
Yeah.
But, I as long as Dan plays, I mean, Brad has to respect the surge.
And the decimator horde that's probably anchoring the
Right.
flank, right?
Right, exactly. So Dan has the tools to prevent Brad from getting in his backfield and his flanks, and then those fiends in the front, yeah, they're not gonna do enough.
No, not good enough.
Right.
So
And then all they
and then
can go ahead.
you get into the grind, and yeah, he has heal 21, but I don't think there's going to be anything left for him to heal reliably.
Right. So here's the thing. I want to root. I am rooting for Dan because I like the way his list works. I'm a dwarf player. I like the idea of I take the punch, I counter punch, I give you the business, right? I'm going to go with Dan even because of what we talked about with the Fiend Horse not having enough punch, etc. All of that being said, I guarantee at the end of the day, on table 1, on round 6, Brad's going to be playing this army, right? I'm going to go, what do I know? Right down on table 32 or whatever it is I'm at, right? Because he's got 3 Void Lurkers too, and we're not talking about that. So,
Right.
yeah, I got this Grady of City, defense 6. The Void Lurkers don't care. Void Lurkers don't care, right? Between the regen and everything else, I'm rooting for Dan because I like his list. I like the way it plays. I'm going to pick Brad. And by picking Brad, it's the kiss of death.
He just put the stink eye right on him.
Complete 180. Yeah. Well,
I guess the big thing is those planar apparitions aren't just there for healing.
They'll hold tokens. They'll do all sorts of crap.
Yeah, I mean the decimators, if they get a clean shot only at -1, they might be able to do enough, but I don't really like the chances of obsidian golems hitting on 5s.
No,
boo.
And again, then you have 2 others backing it up and healing it. So
yeah. And again, so many of the scenarios are movement based, pillage, control. Brad just says, "I don't want to fight you. I'm just going to run away to all the board edges."
Yeah. But then when we roll up dominate, I mean, Dan's going to just be licking his chops. So.
Sure. Yep.
I mean, even invade's going to be tough for Brad to box out Dan.
Yeah. Coming to get you, right?
Right.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I have opinions about that, but
well, Brad could get behind him, right, and then turn around and maybe take some unit strength off the board.
Maybe. I mean, the key is going to be if invade comes down to what side of the table are you fighting on?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
And Brad's going to be able to say, "We're fighting on your side of the table. This is happening right now.
Right.
Nothing you can do about it."
Hold him up, and like Adam said, in that case, he sticks a couple of planar apparitions in front of something that hits on 4s and says, "Good luck."
Yeah, eat it.
Right. Yep. And then
for that, I would have to say I agree. I think Brad definitely has the advantage here. I'm
going to go against it. So I'm taking a long shot. Dan's going to get this one. He's going to pull it out.
Good.
Somehow. Some way.
He's got the tools there, that's for sure. It's definitely something that can happen.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right, table 14, Mike.
Dustin Liu with his Empire of Dust versus Jeff Shulkin and the Free Dwarves, which really are the best dwarves. The dwarves. Anyway, Dustin Liu's list has a unit strength of 23. He comes in with a Skeleton Spearman Horde with the Dragon Shard Shield, all defensive-like. He has a Revenant Horde with the Brew of Strength. He has a Skeleton Warrior Horde with the Healing Brew. He has a Revenant Cav Regiment with the J Boots. He has a Revenant Cav Regiment with Makwar's Potion, because when you take 2, that's what you do. He has an Enslaved Guardian Horde with the Brew of Haste. He has Apophis, the Champion of Death. He has an Idol of Shobik. He has a Monolith, an Ammonite Pharaoh who left his wings at home. Okie dokie, right?
And no mummies to give elite to? What?
Right.
Choice. He has a Cursed High Priest with the Loot, Surge 8, Heal 5. Wow. Jeff Shulkin with the Free Dwarves. He has 2 Ironclad regiments. He has a Free Dwarf Brock Rider regiment. He has 3 Earth Elemental hordes. He has 2 Greater Earth Elementals. He has 3 Stone Priests. Right? One with the Tome of Darkness, one with Bane Chant 2, one with Martyr's Prayer, and one just with Bane Chant 2. All right. and he also has 2 dwarves on large beasts. Wow.
So what dies in this game? What the hell dies in this game?
Ironclad regiments and
skeletons.
And the Brock Riders, because they always die.
Yeah. And
right? They go in,
then
they deliver the punch, and they fall over dead.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, I mean, Jeff has some punch in there.
Yeah, those
Jeff
great
does
earth,
have some
those
punch.
great earth elementals are great with the crushing 3 and brutal.
Even the hordes,
Even the
with
regular
mage
hordes.
chant. Yeah.
Because with the Stone Priests, if they cast Surge, they can then immediately cast Bane Chant on the elemental unit that they cast Surge on.
They certainly can,
So
which is
you're
good.
almost always going to have, crushing 3 elemental hordes.
Yes. Where's that?
Crushing
where's
2. They come out of the block with Crush 1.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking the other ones.
The better ones. Right.
The better ones.
Yeah.
Cynicism.
Like to see a conjurer's staff on that dwarf list, though.
Well, he's got redundancy though. He's got 3. He's got if the first one doesn't do it, the second one does.
I guess
Right.
if they're close enough, right?
Right. Yeah, they'll be. He probably just has a big line of schmutz in the middle with the 3 guys in the back going, "Go get them, boys!" Right.
Right.
And
I mean, how does Dustin break through?
You don't. You just don't.
I don't think you do.
A double Revenant Cavalry regiment into a horde of Earth Elementals?
We'll kill it.
Might be enough.
Well, he's got the J boots and Macquar, so he'll do it.
Right. He's hitting on 4s though. So you have 16 hits.
He's doing 9 wounds. He's doing 9 wounds, baby.
He's doing 9 wounds against Dash 17.
Dash 18, brother.
Dash 18. Oh my
Dash
god.
18. He's got a loot.
Inspired.
That'll help.
He's got 1 loot.
Right?
Yeah, so he's doing 10 wounds.
And then he's getting surged into the flank, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, those Earth Elemental hordes are going to just countercharge.
They're the best.
And guess what? The greater Earth Elemental's even harder to kill.
Yeah, he is. And then you got the Dwarf Lord just sitting there like, oh, don't forget about me.
Yeah, I'm here to help, right?
And then I think that Dwarf Lord on Large Beast is nimble as well, so
he sure is.
He can just say, "Oh, I see. There's something in that backfield I want now."
I like Jeff's list.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like about Jeff's list is there is no way to project. There's no way to project threat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has no ranged attacks. He has 1 unit that moves 8. Everything else kind of shambles and moves 5.
Sure.
The Dwarf Lords are fast, but you don't want to move them up by themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one of those Stone Priests could have been a flying Dwarf Lord or something.
You don't need to, though. Like with his list, it's literally just a moving wall.
Yeah. And he's counting on it to work.
Well, and knowing and playing against Jeff, he plays the scenarios very well, and he knows how his army plays in every single one of these scenarios.
Right.
Yep.
Once again, I think this is one of those things where we're talking and Dustin Lou's at home going, please keep talking. You don't know what I know. You know what I mean?
Let's be fair. He has Epaphius and he has the Idol of Shobik.
Yes. We're talking about how tough Jeff's list is. Right?
Yeah. If anything's going to break through it, it's going to be something like that. And Slave Guardian hordes, they do a ton of damage themselves as well.
Sure do.
But are those 3 going to be enough to take on pretty much the rest of Jeff's list?
Yeah. Can't get them all into a single Great Earth Elemental. That's the thing.
Right.
Right.
I mean, Jeff outsurges Dustin.
Yep.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised at these Empire Dust lists, how little surge there's in them. I mean, you have the Monolith, the High Priest, and the Pharaoh has surge, but is that really what he wants to be doing?
Apparently he has nothing else to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be walking up at speed 5, but he's defense 6.
Getting in the way.
That's true.
I mean, that Pharaoh's a decent roadblock against, an Earth Elemental horde. Or
he sure is, because the regen kicks in. Absolutely.
Yep. He'll just tie the bros up.
It's just, can he actually get in position?
Mm-hmm. He's slow.
Right.
Well, Jeff, I like what we got going on here, man.
I agree, dude. I'm going with Jeff's list just because it's cool.
Yeah.
I like Dustin's variety, but I'm gonna go with Jeff.
Yeah, I'm going with Jeff as well. I know his success rate with this army, and it doesn't look good for anybody against him.
All right, so table 15. So I'll take this one. So we've got Nick McAlonis against Dustin Church. Nick is rolling with Ratkin, first Ratkin list we've seen here today. So he's got 2 Spear Warrior Hordes, a Nightmare Horde with the Pipes of Terror, a Shock Troop Horde with Plague Pots and Heavy Halberds, and then another one just like it. No magic items on there. He's got a Demon Spawn. He's got 2 Mutant Rat Fiends, which I rate really highly.
They're great.
2 Brood Mothers, naked, and then a Warlock with the Shroud of the Saint and Heal for Heal 7. And then Dustin is going with the Herd list. Unit Strength 33 on the Herd list.
Woo!
I know, right? I really like Dustin's list. It is cool. So he's got 3 Tribal Warrior Regiments, and then 2 Spirit Walker Regiments, a Guardian Brute Horde, 2 Longhorn Regiments, 2 Forest Shambler Regiments, and then a Minotaur Chariot Regiment with the Pipes of Terror, 3 Harpy Troops, and then 3 Druids, all with Bane Chant 2, and they come lock, stock, and barrel with Heal 2 as well. Just a lot of targets.
Yeah.
So Nick's list has a unit strength of 24 with Ratkin, and he has 11 drops.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin has unit strength 33 and has I lost count at 16.
Yeah, a lot of drops.
17 drops. So he's going to be able to dictate what's up. He's going to out deploy him. He's going to put the unit strength where he wants it.
He's got a lot of counter punchers.
He does.
I mean,
And
they're
just
both
a bunch of schmutz to get in the way.
They're both pretty even as far as speed goes. Like,
right?
Most everything's speed 6, except for those harpies and then demon spawn and rat fiends.
Yeah, because even with Minotaur Chariots, are they 6 or 7?
I think they're 6. Maybe they are 7.
Hold on. Hold, please. I'll look it up.
I looked at the herd army once and said, nah.
Nah, not for me.
We're good, right?
Yeah.
Right? Heroes, cavalry.
The only downside here for Dustin is that Nick actually has a lot of phalanx in the army, right? And a lot of Dustin stuff has Thunderous Charge 1.
Right.
Yeah. Minotaur Chariots are speed 6.
Okay.
So here's the thing, though. Nick doesn't have any chaff. And Dustin has those 3 troops of harpies.
Mm-hmm.
And, right? So I think he can, even though everything moves 6, he can just sacrifice a couple things, dictate the matchups. Right?
Sure can.
So we can. I think that'll matter.
I mean, Nick has Lightning Bolt from the Warlock. He has
from the Demon Spawn.
Yeah, and he has a Nightmare Horde, which is practically an Ogre Boomer Horde. Right?
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Yeah, he does.
They're not piercing though.
Right.
Oh, okay. So they're not that good. But anyway,
really.
Still good.
But he has a decent amount of shooting to take off some of that chaff and not having to commit to it in combat.
He's going to have to.
Right. But yeah, I mean, all of this phalanx, what's going to take off 6 hordes with phalanx?
Mm-hmm.
And those shock troops being able to pop a ensnare for a turn?
Yeah, that's going to hurt. I mean, Dustin's he's got the number of units to get around the flanks. He's going to have to work that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he has his number of units, but that's 4 infantry hordes. That takes up most, if not all, of the front line, including any impassable terrain. Like, you're going to cover 2/3 of your deployment with that. So it's going to be tough to get around them, in my opinion.
That is interesting. My God. This is going to be a cool game. I mean, remember that earlier in the cast we were talking about the 2 lists that were really fast, but they were like going to be dancing around each other?
Mm-hmm.
I think you might see the same thing here, right? Nick starts, he takes off a couple units of harpies, and all of a sudden the dance begins. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because, I mean, even rat spear warrior hordes, they're going to be able to kill tribal warrior regiments.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah.
Normally, normally the rats aren't going to kill anything, but against the herd, they're a threat against everything, basically.
And
I'm still going with.
those mutant rat fiends are so good. Hitting on threes.
Yeah, they're really good.
And I mean, the defense 4 isn't really going to matter because what's Dustin going to shoot him with?
Yeah.
Nothing. Stugats.
You got Longhorn regiments there that are mini Huskarls.
They're great.
Yep. They are good.
And he's got the 4 Shamblers to go up and scout ahead. Kind of
Yeah.
dictate some matchups below pressure, layer some stuff up. I like Dustin's list. I
I
just
do
think
too.
tactically, I bet you that Dustin can play the scenarios better.
For that reason, I think Dustin's list is probably my favorite in the tournament. So
It's just cool.
I'm gonna pick him here. Right, he's got a lot of different stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I think Nick's got it. He's not gonna. I mean, 4 spear hordes against herd is just, it's not good.
No.
So I'm going with Nick.
Yeah, I think Nick will kill more stuff.
All right, there we go. And now our final table. Mike, take it away, buddy.
Am I reading my own list?
You are definitely reading your own list.
I had to
All
read
right.
mine.
Here it is. Hot garbage coming right at you. Mike's taking Imperial Dwarves because free dwarves are better. Unit strength 30. I have 4 regiments of shield breakers with throwing mastiffs. I have 2 Berserker Brock Rider regiments, one with the Brew of Haste. I have 2 Earth Elemental Hordes, one with the Healing Brew. I have 4 Sharpshooter Troops. I have 2 Steel Juggernauts. I have a Stone Priest with Banechant 2. And I have a Dwarf Army Standard Bearer who wants to attract the chicks with his loot. I'm playing against a guy named Marvin Sims. I don't know the man. I hope he's cool. With Northern Alliance. He has an Ice Naiad Horde with the Hammer of Measured Force. 3 half-elf Berserker regiments, 1 with Makar's Potion, 1 with the Chant of Hate, and 1 with Blessing of the Gods. Talk about punchy.
So fast.
He has a Frostfang Cavalry Horde with the Brew of Haste, 2 Snow Fox regiments, 2 Lords on Chimera. Oh boy, 2 Lords on Chimera. 3 Icekin Bolt Throwers and a Scald, also with the loot because the chicks dig the loot. That's how it is. Every guy with a pole.
Thanks for that.
That's right. Coming at you.
Oh boy.
I have 30 unit strength to his 20.
Oh,
He kills
that's a lot.
everything he touches when he touches my stuff. Tough to tell who's going to win.
What are you talking about? Shield breaker regiments?
They're pretty
Yeah,
bad.
maybe.
Maybe. Maybe, right?
In case you didn't want to get any charges off, he's got the icy bolt throwers there to slow you down even more.
Oh, shucks.
Well, good
y'all
news.
Show me.
Dwarves can't go below speed 4 because
There you
of frozen.
go. There you go.
That's right, sucker.
It will matter.
Right. So I want to preface this by saying the practice games that I've had with this list, I have lost at least 2,000 points every time I put this thing on the table. Right. It sounds like a great idea, and then anyway.
I do love sharpshooters.
They're good.
Oh yeah, I think that's sharpshooters combined with that steel juggernauts.
Yeah, the juggernauts. Sit back there with them and love them.
Yeah. It puts out 30 shots, usually hitting on 5s, not counting the mastiffs. This list really is just me being stubborn. Cannons are good. I'm not going to take them. Free dwarves are better. I'm not going to do them. I mean, I'm really just kind of being a jerk.
Yeah,
and
it's what I did by playing elves. So,
right? I'll show you.
Yeah, but one of those half-elf berserker regiments, you'll take it down throwing mastiffs if you can get them all on one.
That's true. You outrange him technically with your throwing mastiffs.
He can't sit outside your charge range because you'll smoke them with some dogs.
Right.
Right. I mean, your Brock Riders, he's got bolt throwers, but your Brock Riders are faster than him, except for his Chimeras, which have to worry about 30 shots coming their way.
Yes, they do. And no heal out there to keep those Frost Fangs coming and those Chimeras in the game.
Yeah.
That is kind of the game, right?
With Marvin's list, if he loses a Chimera or one of the elves or the Frostfang, it's a big chunk of his army.
Exactly. I think you get one unit, one of those big hitters. It hurts compared to your 140-point shield breaker regiments.
Yeah, you can kill them, please. Of course, everything dies. We went over this already. Where's Marvin from? I've never heard of the dude.
Let's see. Hold on.
This is one of the nice things about Masters is they get to play someone new.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have it here somewhere.
3 bolt throwers. The Snow Fox regiments are kind of a pain in the butt. Because then that allows them to get even closer.
So Marvin's from the Midwest here.
Midwest.
Oh,
that's
cool.
what I thought. I thought I'd
Nice.
seen this list. So
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that's the best part, right? You get to meet people that you never would have.
Yeah, super cool.
I mean, your throwing mastiffs take out a Snow Fox regiment, right? Because they don't care about stealthy.
Yeah, they hit on 4s no matter what, but they're good for about 3 wounds.
And Snow
Right.
Foxes
defense
are what?
2, defense 2,
9/11.
9/11.
They're still
9/11.
good for 3 wounds, guys. I mean, that's the thing, right? And so 9/11.
You're reliably wavering them,
And that's what you want to do.
Which is more debatable that's better.
Right.
Right.
That's what you want. That's what you want.
Stay away. Right.
So, I don't know.
I don't know, Mike. I like what you got here.
I have a lot of unit strength.
I like
it's
the
made
earth
for scenario play.
The Earth Elemental Hordes. If you can keep him from getting into them with the Frost Fangs or the Chimeras, then it's okay.
To be honest, I don't mind having one Chimera go in.
The problem
is 2. I mean, John Vanaz and I have talked about this. He's like, I really like to get my my big demon lord in the flank. I'm like, you know what's really good? Putting 2 in the front. It does the same thing. You know what I mean? So he could totally do that if he wanted to, and there's not much I can do about it.
Well, they're wider, so you could.
I was gonna say you just park somebody in front of him, and then he can't double charge.
Put two juggernauts right on the flanks, right, just a bit forward.
Right. What a pair of jerks.
They are. They're freaking jerks. They are.
Right.
To be fair, I think a Lord on Chimera could pop a juggernaut in one.
Oh, he totally will. Please eat that dude for lunch.
Right. But then you got an Earth Elemental Horde to eat him right back.
Yeah.
Flanking
at least
him.
to lock him down. Yeah.
That's true. You could just surge.
Mm-hmm.
Those half-elf berserker regiments are good.
Yeah, but they're defense 3.
I was gonna say you have sharpshooters, you have steel juggernauts, you have throwing mastiffs.
You got all the stuff to take a unit out, brother.
Yeah, I could lose something, and then I have way more. How many drops do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to my way more.
Not enough. Not enough.
Right. Yeah, I got like 17 drops. So I can kind of see what he's doing.
Yeah. And the Ice Naiad Horde is nice if it gets into an elemental unit, but
I can't do anything about that. It's funny that I don't have enough. I'm going to hit him on 5s. It's not going to do much. And then with the regen, he's going to be fine.
Which is only regen 5.
He's going to put that where he wants.
It's only regen 5, so it's not as good, but it's fine.
Still good. I actually like his list because of the punch. I'm a huge fan.
That's what Northern Alliance does, right?
Right?
Punch you in the face.
Unless you get in the flank, I don't think you take out the Naiad Horde.
No, not in a million billion years.
It's not even worth, using your shooting against it, really.
No, definitely not.
Just regen it up. Who cares?
Yeah. Now, take out the Frostfangs, take out at least one Chimera Lord, and
the Berserker Regiment, and you're golden.
Your Earth Elementals will have a heyday from there.
Should.
Well,
we'll see.
I'm gonna pick you, Mike, because I think I think you got a good thing happening.
That's good of you. Really good.
I don't know. I think it comes down to who wins that long range shooting battle. But I think, Mike, I think you got a good chance of doing it.
Yeah, the interesting thing is he can shoot my stuff and he can kill a thing, and I don't particularly care.
Right.
Right. I can shoot some stuff, I kill one or two things, and all of a sudden he kind of cares.
Right.
That's the idea. That is
Yeah.
the idea.
I mean, the Kimmer is, I don't know. But that being said, I really like the Berserker regiments. They're really good.
Yeah, they are.
Right. -17 with 20 attacks.
Takes them 2 turns with most stuff to kill them.
Right. Speed 6 with Wild Charge D3. I mean, an Iron Resolve. Right. So the dash with the Iron Resolve is it's really good. I don't know. I like those a lot.
But you get your own Berserkers.
I was gonna say.
And you kill them in 1 turn probably.
Right.
Yeah, I would go in if I hit him with a Brock Rider regiment, he's gonna go away.
It's not what he wants.
And it's a good trade for you. Like you said, you lose shit. You lose those Berserker Brock Riders all the time.
All good. They're meant to die.
Yep.
Just make them spend 2 turns doing it. That's what you do.
Right. So I'm not gonna pick me because I'm a neurotic mess. But I actually think I'm looking at Marvin's list and I'm like, I think I have a way to do it, but that's all gonna fall apart the minute I rolled. So many games have been like, yeah, here's the plan. You set everything up, you look down and go, I blew it before we even started. What was I thinking?
I think you got it, Mike.
No, you're gonna ruin it.
Couple of votes of confidence for you,
Just
buddy.
for you. Just for you. I'm voting for you.
Kiss of death.
You're the asshole that voted for me, so.
That's right. We both voted for you, Adam.
That's right. That means I'm just getting screwed.
That is the kiss of death right there.
Gonna ruin my perfect streak here, so gonna jinx myself, but I've gotten max points first game in every Masters.
That's right. No sub-rating for you, buddy.
Nope.
That's right.
Marvin, I'm looking forward to meeting you. I'll see you Saturday morning. It's gonna be great.
All right, everybody. So that'll wrap it up for this one. We'll have tables 17 through 32 coming in a couple days. All right, we'll talk to you.